everybody.
So we're breaking everything.
We did not break everything. You can tell because it's working now. Hello, welcome to our first stream. My name is Connor. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the one theoretically running this show, which is the Cleary and Company Catastrophe Prevention Cooperative, a Monster of the Week campaign. And who else is here? Do y'all have names?
No, I'm imaginary.
Great, good to know. In this imaginary universe, what would your mundane name be?
Yeah, so I go by Cat. My favorite color is pink. I'm the one playing the titular Cleary. And I have, she ran away. A cat somewhere.
That's how cats go,
in this
yeah.
house. Yeah.
Do you have pronouns?
Oh, yes, I do, in fact, use those occasionally. I go by she, her. I'm just gonna eat
Shiny.
these
Who's
crackers.
next?
I'm gonna just eat these crackers. Where's the red sugar?
Just call somebody's name, man.
Okay, you then.
Okay. Yeah, hi, I'm Nora, they, she pronouns. You can find me here and also on the Cornfields and Kobolds podcast and on the Otter Geekdom shows. I'm on one of those once a month. Well, hopefully more than once a month because there's also Side Quest, which is supposed to be bi-weekly. But yeah, what else are we supposed to say? Name, pronouns, one fun fact, what we like about cats.
Yeah, what do you like about cats?
Well, I like cats, because, they're cute and cuddly and, love to read their friends and, call us out for things, and make puns.
Cats make puns.
My friend's named Cat, do.
Well, yes, that's very true.
No, I own 3 cats, and they're little trash goblins that chew on things, and I love that about them.
The cats chew on things. Fabulous. Hey, Pride, who are you?
Hi, my name is Pride, they, them pronouns, and also sometimes she. And I'm recently finding out that I don't actually mind he, him all that much.
Woo.
So, all pronouns, but mostly they, them pronouns, and more she than he. A fun fact about me is that I've been gaming for around 3 years now in TTRPGs, and I started with one of the most convoluted systems that I know called Mage the Ascension. And that was my proving ground. A fun fact about cats and why I love them so much is that they only get calm and relaxed around you if they trust you and love you with their whole self. So if you see a cat sitting out, looking at you and blinking, it means that they love you. I've had my Jack for longer than my 16-year-old brother has been alive.
Yeah.
I also like the Kit Kats and the other ones who crack jokes and know me a little too well.
Beautiful. Beth, would you like to go?
Sure. My name's Beth, and I use she, they pronouns. And what do I think I might be the only one maybe here that doesn't own a cat. My mom is like severely allergic to cats, so I've never got to own a cat, but I have had lots of friends with cats, and they're lovely. I love kittens the most. I mean, baby anything is the best. They're so soft.
Fluffy.
But you have a cute puppy.
I do have a cute puppy.
Yeah, is your
She's
cute
in her
puppy there?
She'll appear. She's not in my lap anymore.
Oh, very good. Michelle, would you finish this off?
I also have a cat. So I'm Michelle, pronounced she, her. And I'm the only player that oversees everyone in the morning mostly, and I'm evening. Well, my cat just finished eating, so she's now going to take a nap.
Very typical cat things.
And like that, I'm playing Jack Blackwood, so he's gonna be pronoun he, him.
Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah, so we get to introduce the characters in flow. This is where we cue the intro music, which should happen next time. because we're still figuring that part out. There are some bots that are not playing along, but in the meantime, and our story opens, it's a typically warm day in San Francisco, California, which is to say that it is foggy because inland is a bit warm because it is early September in 2026. So, in the very not too distant future. And we have typical San Francisco weather in the like 70s. And this intersection means that there is fog all over everything everywhere. And some people are up earlier than others. Jack's classes start pretty early in the morning. So let's start with a window into Jack Blackwood's day.
Yeah, Jack fairly wakes up not very early to prepare. Doesn't need a lot to prepare. Just waking up, brushing his teeth, eating small breakfast, and just gonna preparing for school.
Awesome. What does he
But
look like and what does his apartment look like?
big for one person. Um, that it, it doesn't need to, but he come from a very wealthy family. His father is a businessman. His mother has a fashion business, and they paying for his apartment. Got him a very big apartment that probably will fit like a couple and a kid, but he's just uh, alone in there. Um,
Is it neat or messy?
the living room, kitchen, and all that, it's neat. It's mostly neat. His room is messy. He has all his conspiracy and mysteries that he's trying to look over. And of course, I also will say I'm playing the playbook The Searcher, which is, is the one that is very fascinated with the paranormal, and he has had an encounter with the paranormal. Not sure if to say right now, maybe
we'll
later.
find that out in play. So it sounds
Okay.
like there's evidence all over of his interest in college, but only interest in the supernatural in his bedroom where he can close the door.
Exactly. So
Yay.
in his bedroom, it's messy with all sorts.
And then
Of course,
there's
also
a text that comes
some
in.
college stuff.
Then there's a
What
text
is?
that comes in. What does the text say, Kat?
Did I freeze? Okay. It says, "Hey, you busy today? I could use you back home if you're free."
Immediately, like you saw that it's Cal and text. I'm going to school soon. But if it's emergency, I can come quickly.
Shouldn't be an emergency just yet, but I'm keeping an eye on things. I'll let you know if that changes.
So now you have the choice if you're going to try to go to that first class or if you're going to go investigate the mystery. It sounds like something is afoot.
So yeah, so Jack is conflicted. But Cal said, not yet emergency, but maybe soon. So he's like, text, okay, I'm at school, but I'm in keep in touch. If something going on, I'll just skip the last few classes.
Yes.
So he'll go to school and just keep his eye on the phone.
All right. Meanwhile, finally managed to get into San Francisco proper Mount. And who's the last person who helps you hitchhike your way in?
It's a couple of truckers. Long haul sorts. We met at a truck stop. Got to talking. They had an extra seat in their cabin. They have a very fluffy cat that rides along with them, and it's just like it's I'm gonna say it's a black couple, or maybe a mom and her daughter.
And squished in between them, what does Mount look like?
Mount is like 6'3", maybe even taller. A very broad person. Definitely like the kind of build where like they're definitely carrying a bit of extra weight, but a lot of what's under that is muscle. And they tend to wear plaids. They have shaved hair, but they're constantly wearing a beanie because they live in the Pacific Northwest. And they have, like a tan skin, brown eyes, kind of a kind but worried expression constantly, and a giant duffel bag that clanks whenever they move it.
Okay, this is as far as we're going. We're heading from here down the 101. You stay in touch, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. And Mount will fish out their wallet and give them like $40 in cash.
No,
Just
we couldn't. Your stories have been more than enough.
You. I'm just gonna leave this here, and they tuck it in like the pocket of the door so that like, because like Mount knows that it's hard to be a black person in America, and doesn't not want to give them a little cash.
They will graciously pretend not to accept it.
Okay.
And give you some directions to where is it that you're trying to get again?
San Francisco. I mean, there's a train station over here. I can just hop the light rail, right?
Yeah, but where in San Francisco? It's kind of all of that.
Right. I mean, I have an address. Hey,
Okay.
Kat, what's the address?
She's gonna put me on the spot.
Like, what
439
neighborhood?
Bush Street. I'm just gonna throw out a restaurant.
Okay.
It's 431 Bush Street.
Okay.
In downtown San Fran?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it downtown? Is it Sunset? Is it somewhere else?
Make me give you a
You
specific neighborhood.
wanted to play the party leader. Yeah, you gotta make decisions.
Yeah, it's not too far off the finance district.
Okay. High rolling. All right.
Yeah, so Mount says no, like my phone's good enough to get me directions, but thanks,
Alright.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Close
Drive
door.
safe.
Always do.
And they have the giant duffel bag like it's nothing,
Yeah.
and trundle off to catch a train.
Definitely head and shoulders above the crowd.
Actually thinking like 6'5", probably.
Yeah.
Enough to getting into the ridiculously tall category.
Meanwhile, at the Evander house, which, pause for pet introduction. Who is this furry individual?
This is Fontina.
Hello, Fontina.
Hello, Fontina.
And Fontina would like to remind us that Kat forgot to show you how to set the stream title.
That's true. Things to add to the list. Cool.
Probably
Thank
fix
you
it
so
during
much
break.
for that tip,
Yeah.
Fontina. We'll make sure to cover that shortly. Thank you also
Thanks,
for your fluffy.
Fontina.
No. Ew.
Oh, she's just gonna sit on my lap now. Okay, this works.
Cool.
All right.
Meanwhile, at Libby Evander's house.
We find Libby face down on a book at her desk with a little drool coming out of her mouth. And to the sound of her cat's meowing, she wakes up and realizes she fell asleep there and just was like, oh well. And
What is the book? What do we see as the face is lifting up?
oh, what do we see? I feel like it's an old looking book. It's really, really old, and maybe it's definitely not in English. It's yeah.
Grimoire like, one might say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Indeed.
Totally normal reading for someone who looks like Ms. Evander. What does Ms. Evander look like?
Miss Evander she's like about 5'5". She's 52 years old, so she's in the prime of her life, in fact. She has kind of short, curly-ish brown hair with a heavy dusting of gray. And she's fairly skinny. Did I say olive skin? Green eyes. Yeah, I think that's about it. She's just wearing like a t-shirt and jeans right now.
Somewhat
Probably
rumpled.
like, yeah. Oh yeah.
Pause for pet introduction. Who is this furry individual?
This is Gremlin.
Oh, hello,
Aw.
Gremlin. You're so fuzzy.
I had to take her because she was on a dangerous place, like all other cats.
Yup. There we go. All right. So, yeah, what does Miss Evander get up to next?
Cats. Miss Evander is the cats are hungry and they want their water and their food. So
How many
That's-
cats do we find on this occasion?
we find 3 cats on
Mhm.
this occasion. 2 orange cats and then 1 black cat. And I haven't given them names yet in my head.
Well,
So
but we can't see their names anyway, so that's
Sure.
fine.
they're meowing and they want their breakfast right now immediately. So
Hey, there
That's
are 3 cats. There we go.
And then after that, she's probably gonna make a pot of coffee, pour it into her old cup that she's been using for who knows how long without washing it. And yeah, she drinks just black coffee.
So I
For
get
sure.
the sense that we're seeing like a super neat house behind.
No. Absolutely not. No. There's just like books and papers everywhere, and it's not like dirty and like there's not like food and like gross things everywhere, but it is cluttered.
Yeah, there are like 12 different projects that are all out, all of them centered around books.
Yes, so many books and just paper and writing and like notes all over the walls, things that I've written down that I'm trying to remember, and maybe some strings connecting some things. Who knows?
Ooh. So the walls are the conspiracy.
Exactly. It's
Very
it's
good.
grown.
Very
We needed
good.
more than just the one spot.
It's maybe even visible where it started. It was like the nucleus where things were still closely spaced together.
Exactly.
This makes me wonder if there are any adjacent walls that had notes that turned out to be relevant. So there are like spider web strings stretching across some of the. Okay,
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
We put a string all over.
Just a whole tripping / forehead bashing hazard.
Exactly.
I imagine there are a few of them that are like floor to the ceiling, and at least one note that had to be a part of an ascending thing that hit the ceiling and just decided to follow the ceiling.
The step ladder for ascending to the ceiling to put up that note is still there.
Absolutely.
And how far along does Ms. Evander get in her morning before she notices where her cell phone is and
Yeah, I
that it
think-
has a bunch of missed notifications?
Yeah, when she sits back down where she kind of fell asleep, she sees her phone and it's like blinking a bunch, and she's like, "Oh dear." And yeah, realizes that I was in like on silent and probably in do not disturb mode. But clearly somebody's trying to get a hold of me because it bypassed that.
So, is Miss Cleary's text to Ms. Evander as nonchalant as the one to Jack was?
I think it's it starts with Evander. ... Evander. Callaghan is typing. Evander, I have some questions.
Yes. As if you've done this before.
And then it's like, did you fall asleep again? It's like,
Yeah.
I will send a telegram to your house. Wake
Ding
up.
dong.
No. She didn't. Not answering that door. I'm just gonna peek through the window, kind of close to the door, peek through the curtain.
You see, for a moment, you see a person in a nice, formal button-up and vest and nice slacks, kind of chauffeur standard uniform. But as you've been around the block for a good several whiles, as you start picking up like the something about the posture, something about the way that they're pricking to all of the noises, and as you look in the process of like the next 3 or 4 seconds, you see the ears starting to creep up. Yeah, you appear to have a talking animalgram.
Great. All right, I'll answer the door.
I will have you know that I am doing this because I owe Miss Cleary for a lot of very good, excellent favors, and not because I am a telegram dog.
Understood.
Check your phone.
I'm already on it. Thank you,
You're welcome, Wolfgang.
Libby. All right. Go back to looking at my phone, and I will reply. I'm awake. I'm awake. What do you need?
Oh, good. You're finally awake. Can you come over today? We've got some stuff to discuss.
Yeah. Okay. I can make time for you, I guess.
I made coffee.
All right. I'll be there.
As you put back down the phone, the audience can see 23 unread messages
Mhm.
from everybody else that you forgot to check, who also had questions for you, including Jack.
Sounds about right.
All right. I have to get to work on that, I guess.
And lastly, we hear the soft jazz music playing in the background of a beautiful, dimly lit, chill kind of atmosphere. Old hardwood and velvet furniture, room that's completely lined in bookshelves, very neatly organized. None of that colorful printed paper binding bullshit. These are all letter and gilt letters on leather covers. There's the smell of old tobacco smoke and much more recent fine wines and charcuterie boards, and a fire that's burning low in the fireplace, because some members of this club have 9 to 5 jobs, and some of them were up very, very late studying the tomes, by which mostly we mean partying with each other. But there is a figure who is in one of those chairs next to that low fire, and who are they, and what are they doing? And you are hardware muted.
Sorry, still getting used to the new mic.
It's so much.
Thank you to my kind donor. Hello, y'all. My name's Odysseus. It's a pleasure to meet all you. I go by they, them pronouns. And I look about 27, 28 years old. Got a couple of them there tattoos. Mostly on the arms. And a couple peeking through the button-up shirt. I also got my there cowboy hat. And a stack of books on a little end table next to me. In about 4 different languages. And the one that I'm currently reading is my personal grimoire.
Ooh, what's on the page that it's open to?
That there page is a warden sigil against wandering spirits.
So in this environment, the screen flare from the notification coming in is bright and kind of jarring. It's very suddenly the 21st century intruding on an old place. And Miss Cleary, what does the text to Odie say?
The text to Odie reads, "Hey, I got something I could use some help looking into. Are you available today?"
I'll be down there soon, milady.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I made coffee.
All right. You know I like my drinks ... well mixed, let's say.
Whiskey's on the back shelf.
You know me so well, Miss Clary.
And as Miss Cleary puts down the phone, who is she and where's she putting it down to?
Yeah, so she's sitting in what looks like a decently stocked home office. Like there's a nice thrifted desk. It's got it's got a couple coffee stains that look like they've been like buffed out, but it definitely like could use like sanding and a new coat of stain. And she's only got one arm. Is the most noticeable thing. Like when you see her set the phone down on the desk, and then once the camera pans back to her, you see her. She's wearing a blouse and blazer combo, with like practical khaki pants, and hiking boots. It's a weird look, but she's learned a few things. So and the desk is piled high with like books and papers. One of the stacks looks like it's about to fall over, if not for like being conveniently counterweighted by another stack of books, and maybe a large tankard of something that looks like it's steaming. And like the office itself has like nice little carpeted rug with hardwood floors underneath. She's got an antique desk chair that also looks like it's been thrifted and needs sanding and new things. And the general vibe is like it's organized chaos. It's like and then like the other complete section of the room is like completely clean and like organized and absolutely like pristine. There's not even like a thin layer of dust anywhere on it. And as she sets the phone down, she's just like, okay, I got a hold of him. Even got a hold of Evander. Thank you, Wolfgang.
Very useful, that one.
It's amazing what some of those animals will do for a sandwich.
And is she talking to anyone?
I think she is.
Well, you do make very good sandwiches, you see.
Well.
I would like mine with extra lettuce.
Hint taken. I'll go get lunch started.
You are the best. As the audience sees, a large tortoise who is sitting on the couch, mostly on the couch, has the front legs kind of dug into the coffee table, to be able to put the eyes very close to the tome that he is studying from. And we know the tortoises don't have the best of eyesight, so naturally he has a pair of tiny spectacles on.
So adorable,
Natural-
but
natural.
he would bite you for telling him he's adorable.
And will. Bosch, the tortoise, will be anxiously awaiting his sandwich. Even odds whether he eats the other parts that aren't lettuce, but you know.
Hal's just gonna make him a lettuce wrap.
Oh.
Is it lettuce wrapped lettuce?
That was thoughtful. No, there better be some other vegetables in there too.
Yeah, there's plenty of leafy greens, mustard greens, collard greens, kale, carrots, bell pepper.
We should go to that new vegan restaurant soon.
So
I suppose. Yeah, I can take you.
Yes, you, 'cause you are the best.
I do try.
All right, so I think Mount as let's see if this party can survive public transit.
Oh God.
Mount, the public transit system in San Francisco is complex. There are buses that you get on above ground. There are light rail that you get on below ground. There is a BART system, which is light rail but isn't. And in some, it's confusing. I would like you to roll to act under pressure to get from one end of San Francisco to the other using the public transit system.
Okay, that is gonna be with my cool, which I have 0 of.
Excellent!
9.
Who would have thought? There you go. All right, so here's the thing. Turns out that all of the public transit goes off of this one thing called a clipper card, which you don't have. Now, there are machines that you can get one out of, but the first place that you stop, all of the machines appear to be broken. And also that requires money. There is somebody who's noticing this problem, who's just kind of hanging out, saying, hey, you need a clipper card?
Yeah, but is this some kind of a racket?
Racket? No, I just
Yeah, like
saw that the
break all the
machines were
machines
broken
and then you
down and thought I
sell them
should help a
with a
body
markup.
out.
Yeah, Look, I'll buy it for the listed price on the machine.
Machine's broken. Lucky I know what the listed price is.
The website then, and it had better agree.
I think it's reasonable to have a bit of an upcharge. All right, here you go. I'll call up a page on a website that says there's a $30 initial clipper card issuing fee.
Yeah, no, Mount's pulling up the actual website on their
This guy's
phone.
getting real impatient and
Look.
unhappy. He's
Look.
also like 2/3 the size of you, which would be impressive for a lot of people, but not for you.
My friend, I can tell when people are taking me for a ride. And this is a ride that I don't want to be taken on, and I don't think you want to come along. So, I'll give you the listed price on the official government website. Beep, beep, beep. This one.
So, your difficult choice is that you can get the card for somewhat above the listed price, or there might be something of a scuffle with this guy getting a bit insulted at you, or you can keep going to the next station that's a couple miles, several many city blocks, where you'll find a working machine, but you'll be delaying the meeting.
Can I try to manipulate this guy by intimidating him?
I feel like you probably could, even though that there is the mixed success result from the 7 to 9. But it seems really reasonable that you'd be able to intimidate this guy. It might
Mount's
lead to
not in a
that
good
fight
mood
that you're
today.
hoping to avoid.
Yeah. Yeah, Mount's not in a good mood. My luck die just rolled a 2.
Ooh, yeah.
And I think Mount might be looking for a little bit of a scuffle.
Yeah, this guy looks like he knows how to scuffle. Also, so do the 4 guys behind him.
See, you didn't mention those before.
They were intending to not mention themselves before. Yep. They were waiting to see how much mentioning they needed to do. I think so in the montage of this brief combat scene before the city cops are getting called in and everybody's going to split, I'm especially curious to see what we learn about how Mount goes about a situation of needing to defend themselves.
Well, first off, Mount cracks their knuckles, and you see the shining glint of brass knuckles across them on both hands.
Right, we're on.
Welcome to
Second thing, Mount takes a hit without saying or making a sound. Even if it's a hit that you think would normally be one that where somebody would go, ooh, nothing. Seems like they've trained themselves to not react in that way.
Ooh, the silent fighting is definitely going to be alarming for these nice upstanding citizens who are not in any way engaging in criminal action, because you
Third
can't
thing,
prove it.
Mount would love to take wherever the card came from and yeet it over the fence of the station. If it's this guy's coat, they're trying to figure out, how to get the coat off and yeet that. If it's a bag.
As far as where the transit card is?
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's coat or bag would both have some interesting things in them. Which one is Mount trying to grab hold of in this fight?
Wherever the card came from.
I think the card slipped back into the coat pocket.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking the coat.
Cool. So roll to kick some ass. Let's get a good picture of this
Sure.
as a general abstraction.
12.
That's a very fine general abstraction. That sure is larger than a 10 for a complete success. And are you
I think
taking
my-
less harm, doing more harm? You might want to force them where you want them.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely forcing them where I want them.
Where do you want them to be as the BART police are incoming?
I want them on their asses with the counter or the stolen cards splattered across the ground for everyone to see.
Oh, they only have like a dozen cards. Also got some number of weapons. Are you trying to stick it out and talk to the BART police? Or would you like to make it become not there?
I think I would like to become not there. Because if
Cool.
the BART police are coming for, you're not really supposed to have a lot of weapons in this kind of venue.
In fact, 0 weapons is the preferred number under all circumstances of not being BART police yourself.
Yeah, and considering what's in the bag, Mount's gonna get scarce.
Yeah. So about that getting scarce. Roll act under pressure.
Dice. Boxcars, 12.
Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. What does this look like? This large individual managing to evade notice in this situation enough to be on their way.
I think it looks like, Mount notices a train coming, and swipes one of the cards off the ground and just hops the train and it's gone before, like, just as the police are rolling in.
Yes. Yes. And because boxcars, it even happens to be a train heading in a useful direction.
Yay.
So this tells me that Mount, Odie, and Libby are all gathering by brunch time at the latest at the house of Miss Cleary, which we can sure take a look at. It is a classically San Francisco style house, painted in a particularly purple-tastic set of colors, frosted windows, on like the first nice bit of residential street, after you exit the extremely tall towers of the financial district. And you all know this location. You've been here before. Miss Cleary, are you summoning Jack away from his classes?
Once everyone else is already there, yeah, she would, like, as soon as people start showing up, she'd be like, still not an emergency, but I'm gathering other people for this. The sooner you could show up, the better.
Other people for the same problem?
Yeah, Jack immediately asks, "Is it Miss Eveder and Mount?" I'm saying Mount together.
Is it either of those people that Jack's encountered before?
He's like texting Cal. Is Cal saying yes?
Sure.
So
Yes,
is-
other
immediately-
people.
It is them.
and as soon as like the class over, he like jump on his motorcycle and drive to Cal.
Yes. And arriving not too long after the others. So everybody's getting together. How are you entering? How is anybody greeting each other? Are you expecting to see each other?
I think Mount's just walking down the street and is a little miffed at this point from all of the uncomfortable seating that they've been forced to endure. So like there's a little bit of a storm cloud over their head. Like not literally, but figuratively. Must clarify because magic.
Because magic.
And they are clanking a little bit.
Attracting a decent amount of notice. There are plenty of people out walking. The fog helps a little bit.
Mhm.
But there are definitely a lot of some folks are still out walking their dogs for the morning, and most of the dogs like kind of a vibe. A couple of them
The bro
are
nod to the
more
dog.
task oriented and are looking you up and down.
Mhm.
One of them, a big golden retriever, is going to run right up and hey, do you have weapons?
Yeah, but be quiet about it.
Oh, I hate being quiet about interesting things. I can be loud about interesting things. How about
I will scratch you under the chin if you be quiet.
deal?
Scratch, 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 scratch.
So, everybody else on the streets of San Francisco who is not aware of the supernatural will see this big, burly individual scratching this golden-haired, 20-something tall guy under the chin and think that they know exactly what's going on.
Oh, we know exactly
Interesting.
what's going on there.
Yeah, sugar mommy.
But for
San
the
Francisco's a kinky town, so you know.
perfectly normal San Francisco behavior, but for the initiated, there sure is a very excited pooch getting scritches, and then running off and okay, bye. I got an office job and it's really exciting and I gotta go to it. Bye.
Have fun.
Yeah. They have snacks.
You know, I think that might be the single happiest employee in town because all they need to be told is good boy.
And provided with snacks. Preferably some of them free of chocolate. 'Cause
Hopefully.
even if you're participating in a worldwide magical phenomenon such that the talking animals read to most people like they are perfectly normal looking humans, a la grim fairy tales, people interact with them as normal. If you're actually a dog, you still can't eat chocolate, and that sucks.
This explains why chocolate allergies exist, because they're just fairy dogs who look like humans.
Yes, we have solved it.
Mhm.
So, which other one of you sees this interaction as you're heading into to Miss Cleary's house?
I'll go ahead and take that. Well. Still got that old energy about you, don't you, Mount?
That is the
That
voice
is the voice I haven't heard in a while.
Well, I hope I'm still glad to be seen.
Of course, Odie. Of course. And Mount turns around and gives this mysterious stranger a big ol' hug.
Odie gives this stranger taller than them a big ol' hug.
Well, what brings you this way?
Well, now that I see you here, I imagine about the same thing, huh?
Well, you're working for Miss Cleary then.
Yeah. Suppose I am.
Sweet. Well, since we're headed the same direction, let's walk together.
I'd love that. How the folks been?
I can't say I've caught up with them real recently.
That makes too much sense, unfortunately.
Maybe our travels will bring us over that direction one of these days.
We can only hope, can't we?
Hey, Libby, are you getting out of your car or a Lyft or Uber around this time?
Yes. I think I took an Uber.
I think that not having to find parking is really, really worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you see the two of them,
I see the two of them.
and they're right near out front of Miss Cleary's house.
Yeah, so I'll walk up. You guys here to see Miss Cleary over here?
Well, I'll
Yes.
be.
Hey there, Odie. How are you?
Oh, Miss
I'm doing
Evander.
that.
Hi, Mount.
I almost didn't recognize you until you spoke.
Hi there, Miss Evander.
Hi.
Odie's giving you a bit of a sly grin.
It's been a long time since I've seen you, Odie.
Has been about a month or so, huh?
Yeah. How have you been?
I've been right well, I do say so.
Glad to hear it. I'd say I've been a lot safer since I last saw you.
I hope so. How's the old thing treating you?
It's been working good so far.
It's mighty wonderful to hear.
I think while the small talk's happening, Mount will just go up and knock on the door.
Yeah, I think we'll be kind of right behind you too. Just
Mhm.
let's see what she wants to talk about. I'm a little curious why all of us are here.
Don't suppose it's nothing good. Never really is.
Is Jack's Uber pulling up about this time too, Michelle?
Yeah, I think it's probably when everyone joined, because Cal's seen everyone. So it'd probably be like 5-10 minutes after arriving.
Excellent. So the
Luckily, it doesn't
the
need
door, Mount knocks on the door, and Bosch is finishing up that wrapped lettuce, and will carefully maneuver back onto the couch, and then from the couch down onto the ground, and say, "I'll get the door."
Also, I think Mount probably has a fresh bruise since they took a little harm in that confrontation.
Yeah, in fact, speaking of harm, take one of it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to drop that down?
I think I have basic armor, like one armor.
That's what I was wondering. All right, so yeah, you're just landing at a -1 forward.
Okay.
So, Callahan, are you letting Bosch answer the door?
Yes, because it's funny.
Great. So you're literally, the three of you are standing there about 3 solid minutes. But toward the end of that time, you start hearing a it gets slowly louder, and Libby, you realize in feeding all of the cats, you never fed Bosch this morning. That is the remarkably unique sound of Bosch going downstairs.
Yeah, I feel like the second I hear that, I'm like, wait, where is he? Is Bosch already here? At this point, since I hear Bosch, can I just see if the door's open?
I don't know. Does Miss Cleary keep the door unlocked?
I think, you know what? Sure, yeah, she does, because she's expecting company.
That's amazing. Yes, you have waited for nearly 3 straight minutes as Jack's Uber's pulling up in the background at an unlocked door.
All right, yeah, I'm just gonna open it.
You see
And be like-
Bosch on the second to last stair. Oh,
What are you doing here?
there's a mission. What are you doing here?
A text on my phone. How did you know there was a mission?
Because
one.
I checked my texts last night.
Now I'm just imagining this turtle like sprinting across San Francisco to be at Cal's
Yes.
house before Libby gets there.
Sprinting across at a whole 5 miles an hour. You know, fortunately, the human disguise is such that, you know, with the little tortoise saddlebag for the Clipper card, Bosch did manage to use public transit to get there very slowly
Indeed.
before Libby, and is going to be smug about it. And as everybody is able to start heading up the stairs, Bosch is going to ask, "It would be very nice if someone carried me
I'll pick him
up. Thank you." Bosch is quite heavy, but
Yeah.
Mount was happy to carry the tortoise if Libby seems at all winded.
Yeah, since we're going up the stairs, I think after a couple steps, I'm gonna be looking a little a little shaky. So yeah, if you
Yeah.
you can do
Thank you.
it.
It's all right. I got it. And
Oh.
Mount will like strap the duffel bag around their back and then just pick up the how heavy is this tortoise? Like 50,
Yeah.
70 pounds?
Yeah, this big old tortoise.
Like it's nothing.
Oh my, you are strong.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to compare me to a librarian.
I don't think it's
Her,
fair to compare
mostly.
you to a Street Fighter.
And Mount just has a little bit of a look on their face at the mention of a Street Fighter.
Got a little bit of a black eye on their face at the mention of a
Yeah.
Street Fighter too.
Yeah, that too.
I'm gonna nudge Libby or Evander slightly, and just say been about that strong for as long as I can remember.
Really? As long as you can remember?
Well, as long as I can remember and I know that they've been alive.
So as everybody
Did you
heads
get-
up the stairs,
Yeah,
it'll
during
be
this whole
about-
interaction,
well,
Jake probably already with getting off the motorcycle, and they walk in, so the door is
Motorcycle.
already like open, so he just like runs after them, get inside, and
whoa, there's somebody running up the stairs behind you, y'all.
Oh, whoa there, youngin. What brings you around these parts?
it's me, Jack, and
Yeah.
Well,
and he gives
I'll be.
a high five to Mount, trying to jump.
Yeah, Mount will give you an elbow. They're in the process of setting down the tortoise. But yeah, like give you an elbow of acknowledgement and
If you're here,
Replace.
now I know it's a mission.
Little Jack
Yeah,
Blackwood.
confused as to
Is that
what kind
you?
of mission would involve both of us.
I'm confused
All
what
of
type of
us.
mission would need all of us.
Well, let's go find out then.
Yes, we should. You think there's anybody else coming?
Cal, are you in the living room?
Cal is at her office. But she'll.
But as you open up the door at the top of the stairs to come into Miss Cleary's house proper, that's when we're going to take our break. So let's be back here right about at 20. How does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Works.
Alright. See you then.
Just set it at intermission
Mhm.
in OBS and leave it running.
All right, welcome back.
Hello, everybody.
Here we are in this lovely San Francisco apartment. And let's get a look at what this looks like. It's the room that everybody's walking into. There's enough seating for everybody, though it can be a little tight. It's definitely more people than any of you except maybe Miss Cleary herself have seen in here. And what else is true about this scene there, Miss Cleary?
I think what else is true is that there is a giant pot of coffee on one of the tables with several mugs lying around. On the back shelf, like promised, there is a bottle of whatever Odie's favorite whiskey is.
For today, definitely some Kahlua to mix into the coffee.
Kahlua is not whiskey, but okay.
I don't know alcohol. I'm sober.
Boo.
Yeah, and then there's like a little like a file folder. It's like yay thick. Also next to the coffee pot because Cal is a risk taker. And like there's not also it looks like the room's been like recently cleaned. Like there's like a faint scent of like pine sol or Old English on some of like the tables and like wood elements of like the chairs. It looks like it's been done hastily, so like there's some like streaks of dust in noticeable places. And there is a coat hanger with multiple long like
Odie takes their hat off and flicks it over to the coat rack to land on it. You don't wear hats inside of ladies' houses.
I think Libby goes straight for that pot of coffee. No greetings, no stopping. Just
Well, most of
gonna
the
go for it.
greetings got out of the way already. There you go,
True.
you got it.
Okay. Does Odie say that out loud? That you don't wear hats in ladies' houses?
No, just a common courtesy
Okay,
thing.
because Mount is not taking off their beanie.
Beanies aren't hats.
Oh, I see. A hat is defined as an object that you take off in the presence of a lady's house. Cool.
Definitionally to Odie, if you're wearing it inside of a lady's house and you respect the lady, it is not a hat while you are wearing it in that lady's house.
That is so
Okay.
convenient. All right. Have we met what Miss Cleary herself looks like?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
think
we
have.
we
A
were
familiar
describing
figure
me.
to everybody who has arrived at the house. But what does she actually look like?
We described that earlier
We did.
when
Okay. Very
when
good.
we were in her office. Is
Excellent.
But I'll go into I'll go over it again just because we had the break. Yeah, so she's wearing like a blazer blouse combo. One of the arms is like conspicuously empty on the left side, like and she's wearing like khaki pants and hiking boots. It's a bit of a like dissonance.
Yes, khaki pants and hiking boots.
From the top. And in her hand, she's like holding her cell phone, like flicking through things as she walks in and sees everyone. And it's like, finally, you made it. Good. We can get started.
Mount will set down the tortoise and say, if you're concerned about timeliness, you chose a interesting doorman.
I went very fast for me.
Yes, she did, Hieronymus.
No comment on you. None whatsoever.
I left the door
Usually
unlocked.
a clip
Did you
is-
not test it?
Eventually.
So you just like waiting. Okay.
Callahan. All right.
There's
What
no
makes
rush.
you bring a whole load of us to your house? And Odie will set their cane aside to sit down.
Yeah, notably, Cal does not sit, although she invites everyone else to if they would like. She's like, well, there's some suspicious goings on that I thought y'all might be interested in cutting your teeth on. And I could use a hand or two.
Or 4.
You're gonna have to use more words than that, my lady.
Well. And she'll she'll tuck her phone in her pocket and walk over to the table she set the file on and hand it over and be like, well, start with this and then let me know if you're interested.
Alrighty, I'll give this a look-see. I give the file a look-see.
So you said it's a nice thick file. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is the newspaper article the first thing in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you open up to the Lodi News Gazette. And it's the one from 2 days ago, which suggests that the rest of the packet might have been put together rather quickly. And in this document, there are various stories, a game that the high school won, a new initiative from a subcommittee in the governance of the small town that doesn't get reported in a big town newspaper. The motif around the edges is grapes, nice ripe grapes either side of the Lodi News Gazette. But the front page story is artisanal bakery closed early Tuesday due to flour contamination. This merits front page news, apparently, in this town. Now, if you're not from around here, you may not know what a Lodi is, other than presumably a place that has slow enough news days for that to be the front page story. But as you read through the story, it does have some of the marks of a story that is more than what the newspaper would be reporting. Because, it talks about, contamination was only one day, no adverse health effects have been recorded at this time. If you are experiencing any symptoms, you can reach out to the local hospital or your own doctor for follow-up. But generally, the problem seems to center around the baked goods, especially the cookies and muffins and the croissants, as well as some reports about the gingerbread. They're all spoiling very quickly and having to be pulled off of the shelves. If you bought any to consume later, it's probably safest to discard them, and when the bakery reopens, which should be by Monday, everybody will be receiving a free credit for a different pastry of their choice if they bring in the receipt. And some allegations that those who did eat the spoiled pastries may have been suffering some hallucinatory effects, including a blurb that's clearly meant to be humorous, a quote from one Lionel King, who gave some reporter the quote of, "No, man, you don't understand. They were walking and talking and rolling and running away. They didn't spoil, they left."
Oh,
Alrighty, this sounds like something that's our uh ballpark.
And you are
We-
muted.
That does sound like something that's up our wheelhouse now, doesn't it?
Talking animals and now talking pastries?
The talking animals are normal at this point for most people. At least people who aren't Jack. I can't speak for Jack specifically. But the talking animals are a known phenomenon. The talking baked goods are only going to be familiar to Mount, because that there is one of the Grimm fairy tales. It's not quite a
Yeah.
Grimm fairy tale. It's one of those
it-
that you studied in the auxiliary courses for the
Mhm.
Grimm Society. It comes from older sources, including German, but it wasn't one of the ones that the brothers themselves collected for future hunters. It was one that the first sort of authoritative written record of isn't until about the 1880s, at least in the modern form. And I would Mount like to explain about the fairy tale portion.
Yeah. They'll spout off what they know. This sounds a lot like a fairy tale. Baked goods coming to life. Not one of the main ones, one of the auxiliaries. Basically, just repeat the info that the GM just dumped.
And specifically, this is a gingerbread man type incident.
Right.
Fairly
So living
rare,
creatures then.
but this is a good time to use that packet and the resources provided to you by your own research, and especially Mount's inside information from the Grimm Society, to investigate a mystery, if you would like.
Make that their roll.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, let's get them dice sliding.
We will
Investigate
all roll.
that
We'll roll
mystery.
Whoever's investigating, you're also welcome to be schmoozing, drinking coffee, talking with Bosch, making lettuce lettuce.
That is a 10.
A tan, you say? Is that
Tan.
related to a 10?
That's related to a 10. It's its southern cousin, a 10.
All right.
I also 10.
Nice. Good
Yep.
stuff.
I am rather sharp, thank you.
rather sharp. Anybody else be wanting to roll in?
I think Mount is going to look up if there's any I think this is a good time to contact the sect and see what they know.
Yeah. Sure is. What is Jack up to?
Excellent. That's a failure. That is a 3.
Ooh, that's so exciting. Excellent. Make sure to mark the XP.
Breaking the accent, that move has such a terrible failure condition.
I love it. We're gonna get to it. It's gonna be so good. Let's get Jack
no.
and Miss Cleary's actions here on the table, and then we'll resolve them.
I
What's
tried
Jack up to?
rolling physical dice and it just like fell down there. So I rolled online dice.
Wait. If you rolled the physical dice and they failed.
What? No, not failed. They're just like awful. They fall down from my table.
Oh no!
I have lots of stuff.
Okay, fair enough. Dice down.
Fall down. They'll fall down. So I got into an online. I rolled a 9 plus 2, 11.
Nice for investigating a mystery. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And what's Miss Cleary up to?
I think Miss Cleary is going to be rolling Too Much Has Been Lost. When you research old tales to investigate a mystery, ask one of these questions in addition to your normal questions.
Excellent. All right. So let's go around the table. Each investigator is going to ask one question, and then also we can figure out what's going on with your sect, and then we'll we'll see what other questions want asking after that. So, investigating a mystery has a set list of questions, and I don't think anybody has advanced investigate a mystery, so you can only ask those. So, let's start off with Libby. What question would you like to ask from the investigate a mystery list?
I don't have the investigative mystery list.
Brilliant. Let's solve that problem.
Thank you.
You're
I was just gonna look it up and try to find it, but this might be quicker.
Yeah, we'll race. Going to the Monster of the Week handouts.
Posted it on chat
Yes.
Oh.
Excellent racing.
Thank you.
and Discord.
I'm gonna ask, where did it go? Where did the monsters?
Where did they go?
Where did they go? 'Cause
Yes.
they said they're leaving. They're walking and rolling away.
Yeah. And I'm going to fold in there a little bit about Lodi itself, which let's pull up right here. So here we have San Francisco. Nice, dense, urban, some green spots set aside. We'll get to explore San Francisco more. However, if you go way inland, you find the much smaller town of Lodi. This is one of the further south outposts of wine country. So there, as you can see from the first things that pop up, Grape Escape, Inn and Suites, Wine and Roses Resort. This is a town that loves it when tourists show up to drink wine and go to various events, of which the most important is coming up shortly, the annual Lodi Grape Festival. But here in Lodi, there is a small artisanal bakery. There are many artisanal bakeries. But one of them is up more toward Turner Road. And so a noteworthy feature is that there's a creek. Big creek.
There's a creek over there?
There's a creek over there. And there isn't a creek over there. There is a creek, mayhaps even a river over there. And so it's possible they could have run into town toward church or school. They could have run out toward the river. This will cross-reference nicely with the story, where the baked good in question in the story, the gingerbread man, did very much try to escape by crossing the river, at least in some versions. In most every version of the gingerbread man story, the gingerbread man evades and outpaces all of the pursuers until it meets the fox. So I think that's about what you can tell so far for where did it go. And let's go to Odie.
All right. I think I'm gonna ask, what was it going to do once it got up and walked away?
Yeah, so with the information you've already got, and this raises the question of, Miss Cleary, have you tried to get in contact with the Lionel King yet?
Yeah, I think I have.
All right, so another document in this folder is this phone chat that Miss Cleary had with Mr. King, which starts off very reluctant to speak with anybody. He's been speaking with everybody, and he's awfully done not being taken seriously. So the transcript will involve a certain amount of whether Miss Cleary can manage to reassure him that she is taking him seriously. Thusly, Miss Cleary, would you kindly roll to manipulate some?
Of course. Alrighty. That is a 10.
Awesome. So yes, what is it? What happens in the transcript as you're reassuring Mr. King?
It's, she's like, she's very much like, I get it. It's a lot of people don't believe you. They laugh it off. They shake their heads. They tell you you're just crazy. No, I believe you.
Okay, because
I look into
everybody saw it. Like, everybody saw it. I don't know why everybody else is pretending like they didn't see it, but they saw it. It was right in front of us. It was in our nose. They were talking and they just they didn't want to get eaten. They didn't want us to eat them, and I'm not going crazy.
No, you're not going crazy. You saw what you saw. I investigate things like this all the time.
Okay. Can you tell my mom that? No,
I'd be
wait. That's fine. That's fine. They were booking it. They didn't want to get eaten. They wanted to be free, run off. I don't know how they were planning to do. It didn't really seem like they had a plan, other than just get away. They kept talking about having to just get away from everybody that wanted to eat them for long enough. I don't know what was going to happen then. Maybe they were going to get stale.
I'm not sure either, but that's why I'm looking into it. Is there's gingerbread men running around? It's best to find them and figure out what else is going on. So you're not going crazy, but it's definitely not normal for them to be springing to life.
Okay. If you're down here at some point, you can look me up. I want to figure this out. I can't look the same way at a croissant since.
Yeah, no, I'll come meet you when we're down there. And here's my contact information if you remember anything else or see anything else in the interim. I'll be there investigating with my team soon.
Team of investigators. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. And I won't tell anything to the reporters. They try to make a big thing out of it.
That they do. No worries. We'll take a look and take care of it. Don't worry.
Okay. Thanks, Miss Claire.
No problem.
All right, next, let's find out what. Yeah.
I need a prop.
Who wants to do their question next?
I will ask. I think it's also. I guess we all know this information. Also, we sharing what each of us found.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all sharing it, and we know. So I think with this phone call and everything, Jack want to know what is being concealed here. What's
Yeah. So
behind this line of.
Miss Cleary has, I think, done more research into the bakery in question. Does that seem likely?
Yes, it does.
Cool. I want there to be a pithier name than the one that I came up with.
What'd you come up with?
Oh, just grape eats. But
For the bakery?
for the bakery, yeah. If anyone feels inspired for a better name than that for the bakery, and add that in. But regardless, pulling some of the public records about this bakery, and other times it's been in the news. It's been open for about 2 years, because there was another side story in the newspaper when it opened. And it doesn't seem like it's been doing that well. Like there have been lots of ads taken out in the paper about, the rave reviews, but there have also been a series of old-fashioned classified ads, as well as the ones on Craigslist, talking about, needing new employees. Seems like they've been having a decent amount of turnover. And about a month ago, there was an ad for a new head baker. After which point, the sort of the aggressive ad campaign seems to have tapered off some, and there's even a little feature that is, the annual civic awards for best store of this and best store of that are coming up. And there's a feature about the new rave reviews that this particular bakery has been receiving. So there's something to do with that changeover in leadership in the kitchen, and it's conspicuously close to an animate pastries incident.
Okay.
But there's no chatter about the about the new baker or any other sort of new leadership, any new baking techniques, all of that could make sense to advertise. But that's very quiet, other than the fact that the Craigslist posting got taken down.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Interesting. Makes me ask an interesting question. If I can ask one with my
Yeah, if you
second
haven't
hold.
asked one yet, go for it.
What sort of creature could enchant baked goods to life?
Trying to get extra mileage out of what sort of creature is it?
Indeed. Because we already know what sort of creature the walking bread is. It's walking bread.
It's walking talking bread is what it is. Very 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 muchly likely, and you'll find supporting documentation that line up fairly well with the original story of the gingerbread man, which is also with its common sub varieties. Those are all in the notebook as well. But yeah, this is magic. It's definitely magic. It's definitely the sort of magic that the Grimm Society disapproves of, sometimes with violence.
I know.
Could well be the sort of magic that your own society likes to find and promote. That would be the best case scenario. There are several other possible scenarios, depending on exactly what the baked goods were made out of.
I relay this information, making sure to emphasize that there appears to be no instances of the creatures harming nobody for our grim friend.
How does
there
our
don't be
grim
no
friend...
incidents of harming.
Is our grim friend Mount available to receive that information quite then, but or still on the phone?
Yeah, I think Mount tends to be terse, so and doesn't really like long conversations. So they'll just ask, you want to send me the files, and what do you want me to do about this? And probably just hung up.
Yeah. And do we get to hear yet what bad thing the sect asks you to do?
I think Mount's mulling it over, debating or not whether to tell everybody that the phone call was private. They went off to a corner and did not have anything on speaker.
Yeah. So on a miss of the initiate's move, the sect, being the Grimm Society, is asking Mount to do something bad. But I don't know in character what that is yet.
It'd be nice if I knew.
Sure, I'm asking also if we want to know out of character.
I don't think I want to know.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, I don't mind if the others do, but ain't no way a Taliesin wouldn't act on the information. And
no, out of character knowing. Out of character knowing.
I still don't think I want to know.
Then you sure do have a volume control on that there computer.
I do. And let me show you a new trick right here. You're gonna see some headphones appear, and I'm gonna be deafened. One of y'all wave to me when I'm ready to come back. Okay.
All right. So you managed to get it through to one of the regional level officials that you've worked with before. I was saying, yes, we've been following this case. Really, Miss Callahan's involved. That's news. Not entirely comfortable with that level of publicity on this incident. Quietly as you can, without Miss Callahan having all of the details. Round up all of the goods you can find, and the sorcerer in question. And destroy any of them that you can't get back to headquarters.
Okay.
Any grimoires you find, same situation.
Container destroy, got it.
This is something that cannot spread. Think you want.
Right.
Let us know if you need resources in the field.
Will do.
You can tell the others that we had no interest in getting involved at this.
Heard.
All right.
Nothing
Hello.
useful.
So yeah, as Odie's coming
Welcome
up to
back.
talk to Mount, Mount's saying nothing useful.
Mount, well, it depends on what Odie's asking.
Sure.
Hi there, Mount. Your phone call go okay?
Yeah. Signal went through just fine.
All right. Well, I got some information on what possible cause could be. Some sort of animating enchantment of some sort. Bringing the bread to life with magic.
Yeah. Sounds like some kind of sorcery.
Something like that. You notice in the reports that ain't nobody gotten hurt from this spread.
That is notable. Yes.
I'm thinking that once we figure out the source, maybe we ask them nicely to be a little bit less obvious rather than resorting to anything more drastic, as I know that crowd you've fallen in with is wanting to do.
They don't seem interested in this one.
All right, then yeah. Maybe take a gander on how our side do it this time and see if you're liking it. There's always a spot for you over here.
I appreciate the offer, Odie. Exactly what side are you representing?
Well, I know you're with the Grimm Society. You can call my group the Mafurwin Taliesin.
I assume I've heard bad things about them.
Oh, hey, let's find out what you've heard about them. Now you roll investigate a mystery about the other mystery.
Okay. And that keys off of sharp. Okay, that's a 7.
Okay.
Just barely.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I would like to know.
And we can interpret words like, creature and
Yeah.
such a little loosely.
What is being concealed here?
Yeah. So the Mefenwar Taliesin, translation, the students of Taliesin, is a sort of a Celtic group society, much in the way that the Grimm Society draws a lot from the Germanic folklore roots of the brothers that acquired a lot of the knowledge that the society uses in modern days. But sort of publicly, the writers, philosophers, gentlefolk of leisure, cultural preservationists, not quite the librarian vibe, but certainly there are librarians among them as much as there are among the Grimm Society. One of the more concealed agendas that you are aware of, though, is that while the Grimm Society sets out to find and catalog and, if needed, destroy dangerous magic, and most magic is ultimately dangerous to people. Let's be real here. The Mefenwar Taliesin generally take almost an opposite approach. The idea is to try to shift the modern world to be more like the one in those stories. A place of demigods and monsters and fae folk and heroes and villains that would be massively, horrifyingly hazardous for people to actually live in. So that's what you've heard about the Mefenwar Taliesin from your bosses in the Grimm Society.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, so Mount is just like, I'll keep that in mind.
Our type could always use a hero type like yourself.
I'm no hero, Audie.
Say that to those that you've rescued.
Well,
just know that not everybody who practices a little bit of magic deserves to die. And not everybody who takes the wrong path deserves worse. Miss Callahan, some questions about these documents.
You're muted.
I'm ready for them.
You spoke to this teen about the baked goods. Does this kid know the baker?
I don't know if they know the baker, but they certainly went to the bakery.
Do you think you could get access to the bakery's staffing records?
It depends on how they're keeping them. If it's digital, potentially. If it's physical, then we're gonna have to go inside and ask. And it depends on how reticent the owner is.
Ain't that the truth?
Has everyone gotten their first question?
The only person who hasn't asked a question right now is me, and I asked a different move.
Cool. Great. So now we can start the second set of questions.
I've already asked mine, so I'll forfeit to the next person.
Oh, if you're asking that of the investigative mystery move, there are more options than just asking Miss Callahan Cleary directly.
No, my first question was what sort of creature. My second question was, my first question was what sort of creature, and my second question was something, right? Didn't I?
I don't think you asked a second question.
What did? No, my first question was, what was it going to do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
And then that's how we found out it wasn't going to hurt nobody.
Mm-hmm. All right, Libby. Do you have a second question in mind? You're mute.
Can I pass my turn real quick?
Yeah. So, and that's really key to how the system works in general. You can keep your hold as long as you want to. Once we go to the next location, the hold from this round of investigative mystery will just cover what's in the packet and what you can get at from the apartment. There'll be more investigation, most likely once you're on the road. So what do you want to do before heading out into the field? And how are you heading out into the field? Is Miss Cleary rented big enough? Let's see. Hey, 5. Somebody have a car?
I think she's rented a van. And it says Original Joe's Van Delivery Service.
Reference to an old colleague.
Odie, in fact, does have a car. It's a 1960s car.
Dang. All right. Tell us about this car.
Very well taken care of. It is silver in color with black highlights and purple designs on it. And I have freaking no idea about cars other than that it looks pretty. And it's one of them cars that were cheaper when they were bought in the old times, but are hella expensive nowadays.
Nice. Yeah, I also cannot fill that in. Hey, maybe one of our viewers can. Good suggestion for a 60s car that wasn't fancy at the time, but is fancy as hell now. All right.
I'm working.
So Odie may be taking a car separately from the van. It'll probably be useful to have more than one vehicle, though both of these vehicles do sound to be conspicuous as fuck.
Evander, you want to come with me in my ride?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Someone on his motorcycle.
Is Jack going on his motorcycle all the way to Lodi? I would like to point out this is about a 2.5 hour drive. But otherwise you won't have your motorcycle.
Yeah, I guess if most of us going on the van, I guess he'll go on with the van. Yeah.
It will provide you a whole lot more people to ask a lot of questions. You can even study.
Somebody asked a good question. Does the van have enough space within it to hold a motorcycle?
Ooh, does the van have space to hold a motorcycle? Well, with 2 people going in a different car, I'd say it might if you want to take out a couple of those seats, but that would leave you without no, that wouldn't leave you without a car that could carry everybody. Because I bet Odie's car could still carry everybody if you did that. Is that how
It'd
you
be mighty
arrange
cramped
things?
with 2 6-foot-tall people in the front and a bunch of the smaller folks in the back, but it would fit.
You know, if it's a 7-seater
Probably.
van, you just take out the 2 back seats. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It's not like it's not a Harley, like a big motorcycle.
Okay. Yeah, what does the motorcycle look like?
Like a Kawasaki, one of those
sure,
smaller.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something.
So I think I'm hearing a 7-seat van converted to 4 seats and a motorcycle.
Sounds about right to me.
All right. What other prep are you getting up to?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what the hell do the students of Taliesin think we do with the people that we capture or contain, and what do we actually do as far as Mount knows with them?
Yeah.
That's 2 questions with 3 answers.
Only 3, huh?
Well, 3 to me.
Is there a Worf who wants to be introduced to?
The Worf is out in the living room right now,
All right,
and
maybe
would
next
require
time.
more effort
Sure.
next time.
Maybe we'll meet the Worf next time.
Indeed, I will be mutant and unmutant as it is.
Okay, so let's start with Mount's understanding of what Grim Society does with the folks that they take in. Certainly some number of nefarious creatures of fairy and humans consorting with them have to be killed in the field, but that's not the overall hope. There's definitely a lot of effort put into rehabilitation programs, even people who've already been tainted by fairy, and it's sort of a slow, inevitable progression toward evil. They're given purpose in the meantime. Some of them are even trained up as agents, and generally only the ones that are like really no, I need to go back out there and murder more people, you see, just get like they're not in the practice of running a prison. So if they can't find some way of converting someone, letting them find some sort of non-murderous option that they're cool with, or in the case of an actual creature of fairy, just banishing them back to fairy, okay, thanks, bye, they probably would need to kill them, because the kinds of magics that, remember from Men in Black sorts of media, yeah, those magics are too big to use without warping reality themselves.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think while we're getting in the car, Mount's just gonna ask Odie, what do you think we do with our captured ones? Because it's not worse than death usually.
You're muted.
I don't rightly know what y'all do now, and of course y'all think that. Listen, what they do with the lucky ones is kill them dead. Those ones that survive, brainwashed, wiped of their spark, have their souls inverted to get the wickedness out. Exorcisms. It's much worse than they probably tell you on those who have to go through them.
I've met people who were magicians and became agents. You seem not that broken.
It ain't as bad as that Room 101 in that one book. But it's not sunshine and rainbows, I'll tell you what.
I imagine being told that you have to stop doing what you're doing or, join some kind of rehabilitation program isn't pleasant for everyone, no, but it's
Imagine, if you will, if you're told that the cultural practice you've been doing your whole life, and your mama's been doing her whole life, and her mama her whole life, back and back and back years, ain't just wrong and devilry, but it's also corruptive to reality. And that spirit who's been working with your family for 100 generations back to the dawn of time just gets snapped back to a world it hasn't known, or even might not have been born in.
I want to clarify who else is in this scene. Is this happening in Odie's car?
Yeah.
So Libby's also here.
Yep.
How's Libby react?
I don't know if she's super shocked by what she's hearing. I feel like she's pretty well read. She knows some things about some of this stuff. So I don't know that she wants to get too involved. But she's like, yeah.
Odie, I understand that the society has a checkered past, and I'm not condoning that. And you don't have
You
to tell
have
me.
no idea the past your society has. I've faced
have
the
to tell
demons in
me.
my society.
You don't
Have you?
have to tell me what it feels like to have one's heritage completely annihilated by the prevailing society, Odie.
I don't suppose I do know.
But I see your point.
I'm not saying all of them are bad. Far from it. I've met some mighty kind people who would give their life for a magic user who's not harming none. And I've known more than one Grim Society member who left a minor spirit or a lesser fae alone when they wasn't harming nobody, as long as they kept their nose down and didn't make too much noise. And my people ain't perfect neither, but I'd prefer a chance at whimsy rather than the certainty of this.
Well, Odie, it seems that we're gonna have to disagree a little bit.
It's all
I
right, too.
don't want if somebody proves dangerous and doesn't want to agree not to use their magic again, then there are measures that need to be taken for the safety of the majority of people. And I don't say that in a way, I don't say that lightly, Odie.
I know.
It's been a while since we last talked, but
Mount,
I didn't expect you to be part of this life, and it seems that we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
you're right. Perhaps we have. It's good to see you again. I think
Do you remember
I think we
Luce?
can help people.
Lucia,
Luce,
the one that I wanted to marry.
I don't think I do.
She's not around for me to marry anymore. That's what got me into this life, and it was a grim creature's doing.
Your society, more than mine, and perhaps more than any, are responsible for taking out some of the worst. I wasn't lying, I wasn't joking, I wasn't kidding when I called you a hero, Mount.
I'm no hero. I'm just doing what needs to be done.
Tell that to those you saved. Car start, throw it into gear, flip the radio on. It's some modern progressive country song.
Modern
Chapel
progressive
Roan?
country song. Yeah. Mm.
It's Chapel Roan, yes it is.
The Giver.
And start driving. Are you sitting in the back seat to give the old one of us the front?
It depends how generous the leg room is in the back.
It's a 60s
Yeah, no.
car.
I think that I'm in the back. I know I'm the old lady, but I think that Mount needs to be in the front, and I'll be behind the driver so that
Yeah.
Mount can scoot their chair back as far.
I guess that all
as
depends on whether it's a 60s American car or a 60s non-American car.
true. And I've been working on figuring out what this car is. So
Oh, good. All
Yeah,
right,
she's been helping.
before we wrap up for today's adventure, let's find out what's happening in the van.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of conversation Miss Cleary and Jack are getting up to.
Well, it's good of you to join us, Jack.
Thanks for counting on me. This is definitely weird. I mean, I've encountered paranormal stuff. This thing I haven't encountered yet. Talking pastries.
Yeah, no, those
By the
are
way,
those are
I wanted to bring pastries before I came here, but I wanted
Yes,
to.
no, tell me about the other prep that you did.
wa-
If you're bringing pastries to the baked goods mystery, tell me these things.
Yeah, no. Jack saying that in character to Cal, like said, I wanted to bring pastries before I came to your house, but I wanted to be early. I didn't want to be late, so I didn't. I mean, and now I think about it, maybe it's good because I might got some.
Yeah, Lionel might appreciate it if we see him there, not having a whole box of croissants.
Yeah, might freak out.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I figured this would be a good good story mystery you could cut your teeth on. I know business with the cult wasn't so nice.
Even though it was horrible experience, don't tell Mount, but I'm also researching about this cult just because what's their purpose? I mean, just trying to understand and maybe be able to stop them.
Yeah, we tell the Grim Society about it and they'll go out and try to nuke it from orbit, and that won't tell us much about their goals now, will it? But we'll figure it out. I figured, though, before we dove into anything involving them, that this be good to get your feet wet on something a little less involved.
It's something I've not encountered. I've encountered ghosts and some monsters, but not this.
I would be surprised if you had encountered talking, running, screaming gingerbread men.
That is such a good line to end on. Is that our ending line, or is there one more from Jack? Oh, or from somebody else?
I was wondering, chat wanted to know if Hieronymus Bosch came along in the
Oh,
van or otherwise.
yeah. Let's decide that. Is
I
Bosch
mean, he seems
down?
pretty gung
I
ho that
feel
he's
like
the crew.
Bosch is just fully part of the crew. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Just right now.
great.
Maybe not all the time, but
At the,
I
is
think
it
Bosch
at the back with
appreciates the
the
greater
motorcycle?
maneuvering room in the back of the van.
Bosch is riding the motorcycle.
his glasses,
A little.
goggles.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Yes.
switched the glasses for goggles.
Well, fairy animals too often do things beyond what they should be able to do.
Oh, yeah.
Opening doors and things like that.
Oh yeah, go read your Grimm fairy tales if that seems weird to you, because it's all over. And it is also weird. So, as we're wrapping up for our first adventure, I want to hear about what are the bits of setting and character lore that are really interesting, or you're scratching your head around, that you want to hear more about. We don't have an episode next week, but after that will be pretty strictly every week. And in between now and our episode 2, we're going to put out some number of shorter videos about the some of the different main characters in our cast. And if you want to request any particular topics around some of the setting lore, I would love to hear about those and get some of those out to you. We will be back on Twitch in 2 weeks minus 2.5 hours. And we will be reposting this episode up on YouTube. If there's somebody you know who missed this, who might appreciate it and have a good time with it, spread the word, and thanks for showing up. And thank you to the players. Got ourselves well and truly started.
Do you want to do the end of session questions?
Do we want to do the end of session questions? Do we want to do...
Mhm.
Yeah, let's do the end of session questions here. Absolutely. So at the end of every session of Monster of the Week, you ask some questions to find out how much experience the characters are marking for that session. And they are, did we conclude the current mystery?
Barely got
No.
started.
No.
We got our
Just started.
feedback.
We just started.
Just started. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
No.
Nope. Did
I
you
mean,
learn something? Did you learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What was it?
Yeah, that it has
Yes.
talking gingerbread men in
Yes,
it.
talking gingerbread men in it. I'm sure that there are also gingerbread women and genderqueers, just to be clear. And did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Yes,
Oh, the
it's our
animal?
first session. We had a bunch of new hunters be introduced.
We learned about a
Yes.
bunch of new hunters.
That's also, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is
All right.
one experience.
Yep,
for
that's
2 questions.
2 yeses. For 1 or
positively
2
answered.
yeses, you get 1 experience point.
Woot woot, fancy.
All right.
I'm gonna be a level 20 wizard right here soon.
As soon as you
That's
start
like-
playing D&D, yes.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's how that works.
Oh,
All
okay,
right,
then I'll be a
say
level
bye,
5
everybody.
mage here soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for
Bye,
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
And we're off. Ah! We did the thing! That's gonna be so fun! Wow. Yeah, so the YouTube video, Kat, you're doing that, right? Great. You probably should do things between now and 2 weeks from now, yeah. Oh, sure. I put password information, I set password in such with the expectation that they would get shared at some point. Oh, it's not? I hate 2-factor authentication. Yes. Sounds good. All right, so we've got that to sort out. We've got teaching me how to title the stream, figuring out music. I want to figure out so at least one like of those one-on-one character interviews, maybe 2, because we've got 2 weeks here. Yeah, so before we ran the session, I was thinking to start with Miss Cleary over there, but now with that scene toward the end between Odie and Mount, I'm thinking to start maybe with the pair of you uncover some more of the backstory of what all that tension is about. Yeah, I caught that in the middle. That's very interesting. I'm going back and reading the chat. Wait, hearing intermission ghosts? Somebody was saying it's amusing hearing the intermission ghosts. Should have. So let's figure that out.